Welcome back to the Stoop football fans. It's your boy Lolo back in the USA, away from the UK. I gotta tell you, it was a hell of a week if you guys have been following our transgressions over there. And you can tell from my throat, my voice, I'm still a little hoarse from all the yelling that we did at the Emirates, at Elland Road, and just out on the lash with all these guys. And I know Mark and I were talking about on the plane back. We're like, oh man, I'm taking a week off. I'm taking 2 weeks off. I need some detox. Well, I made it till tonight, so that's about as much of the detox as I'm getting. Ears, cheers, big ears.
Welcome back, buddy.
Director John, so good to see you. We're back. Drink them if you got them. Oh, you know what? It really helps the throat. I think that's why. It's a medical reason. And so much for the detox. I'm back in Brooklyn, son. It's even so greasy and oily that it's getting too much reflection off of the but I am back in the US, so it's time for IPAs and pizza instead of all the fish and chips and curry chips and things like that I ate while I was there. I gotta say, all the people in the UK made us feel, everyone we interacted with, minus one fella, but everyone that we interacted with made us feel so welcome at the Emirates, at Elland Road, at the Tollington, at the Scarborough Taps, at a Billy's Bar, I'm probably forgetting a ton of places that we went to, but absolutely fantastic. All you Arsenal fans out there, BX Gunner, I see you. All you Arsenal fans, you need to make it to the Emirates at least once in your life. It was mind blowing, and then to be able to see a match like that, the North London Derby, which always matters, but this season right now it actually matters a lot. Winner goes into first place. If we would have lost, the fucking Tottenham would have been in first place. And then to be able to go from there, from a mega stadium, like, it reminded me a lot of like Texas Stadium back in the day, or MetLife, these huge, very corporate feeling stadiums. And then we go to Elland Road, and Elland Road is like old school, and we were even like in the sort of newer parts, but you could just feel it when you went in there. It was an old school pitch.
Does it compare to like Wrigley Field or Fenway Park?
It would be more like Wrigley Field. I haven't been to Fenway, but Wrigley Field, where you see houses in the background. You saw a train going by at some point, and like if we were in the higher stands,
that was James. The train going by, that was James.
That was James. No, James was like starting fights down in some other section, probably with the referee. I just wish it was a better match, but you could tell, I don't know, it just wasn't quite lively enough. But we'll get into all that. But big up to all the Stoop crew who made this trip happen. First of all, without y'all's support, Mark and I never would have continued the show. The way things were going, and then we got such an influx of fans like you all from the work that we did, a lot being Leeds United, but even the strong Arsenal contingency that we have, and even the people who support other clubs. But I gotta say, special thanks to Ben Ireland for doing a lot of the legwork out in York to make sure our stay was fantastic out there. All the Stoop crew who met us out there. I'm talking Mr. Tom, Phil, Amy, see, one beer and I'm starting to get too drunk. Bandy Fornowski, we got to meet him, and his lovely wife cooked us dinner in London. We had a home-cooked meal in London. We were in the Bandy studio. It's so fantastic. Anyway, I'm already losing my throat, but I just want to say to all the people who couldn't make it, that couldn't get out there to see us, Director John, we wish you would have been there. Scooby-Dee 2, Martin Aykroyd, there you go. Good to see you as well. BX Gunner, Ben Arizona, who we saw in the program. I'll be sending you a program, my friend. Anders, Macronomical, Steven Denham, all you guys. Yeah, it was fantastic, and that's all. That's about a 5 minute brief summary of that. We're going to talk a lot more about that. Let me bring my partner in crime. The first couple of days, I haven't slept in a bed with him. Uh, let's bring him in here, Mr. Mark. How are you?
I'm I'm well rested.
You back on the lash, or are you still on that Yorkshire tea?
I am drinking some very very fine coffee, which apparently we weren't finding in England.
They do not. It doesn't exist
I found
in England.
fantastic tea in York. The tea that we had with the fish and chips was absolutely fantastic, and I've been looking for it ever since. So maybe I'm going to be a convert from the coffee to the tea. But no, I've
No, the Yorkshire tea was the closest thing in strength and like flavor that I had to actual coffee. The coffee that I had
Right.
everywhere was like, here's some Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and we're gonna add water to it. I'm like, it was like, here's a hint of coffee flavor, and then you put milk and it's wrecked.
it's like like something you'd get at like the auto parts store. It's like they offer free coffee.
No,
while
I tell you what,
and you
actually
you
the best cup.
push the button.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that coffee. The best cup of coffee I had was in one of the little hotels that we were at that had a teapot and it had some instant packets. I put like 4 of those instant packets in one cup. Boom. There you go. It tasted like coffee at least. Anyway, Mark, we're back. We're back. Can you believe this trip actually happened? Like if I didn't have this hoarse throat and most of my phone storage full of photos, I wouldn't believe it. It's already over and I'm back like dad mode, work mode.
Yeah,
like,
it was truly incredible, and it was a whirlwind. And then getting back, it was like to have like once I got home, not have to like so I was able to sleep and not have to rush off somewhere the next day. It was like I hadn't unpacked, and I'm like waking up, and I head for the restroom, and I see my bag there, and I just kind of half asleep thinking, oh, where are we going today? But
it
no,
was it. It was a whirlwind.
It really was. It was we packed a lot in a very short period of time, and as you had mentioned, we were treated very very well. Got just to see the rally of support. So we show up at Scarborough Taps with like what was there, 6 of us to start.
Yeah, like six of us.
And then the next thing we know, there's like 15, 20 people all around the table. It was truly incredible just to see the kind of support and the support that we saw at the old school stadium. To me, Elland Road was like a college stadium. It had like an old, like it reminded me of the old stadium where I went to college, where they played football, American football. But yeah, it was a very much a. Oh yeah, definitely Brawley.
What are you saying?
Definitely glad. Brawley's saying we're glad that we didn't go to London, the West London Stadium, to go see West Ham and Wolves.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been.
We actually
just chilling at the Tollington was the best.
He was actually playing at the Tollington, right, like a really great view into the bar from where I was sitting outside, or tried to be sitting. And right afterwards, after the results, I began speaking to a few people that Bruno Lage was going to get the sack, and sure enough, he did. So, yeah, what do you
there in that under part there? But this is the entire room. I don't know if you guys it's coming across how massive this room is. We're just big fucking dudes, I guess. But anyway, we're gonna be popping up photos from the trip all throughout the show, if we have some here. But yeah, all right, Mark, you ready to bring on some of our guests? These guys who hosted us so well.
Absolutely, let's get them on here and,
all right, do
and
we
look
have
them in
them
the
both
eye.
here? We do have them both here. All right. Bring them both in. Ben from York and
Oi,
Mr.
boys.
Tom in the dungeon. Didn't invite us to the dungeon, but that's probably for the best. Via Martin's in the house. Via Martin had a great fun weekend with us as well. And David Via Martin, we got to say, we mentioned over and over and over how you're a class fella, man. Everybody really enjoyed your company, by the way. So we'll see you back in Brooklyn. But Mr. Tom, Ben wearing your Rangers gear.
Gift from Mr. John, Director John. Proud to wear it. Love it.
And
I love it.
see that behind you. You finally got some proper wall hanging.
Yeah, and I finally got. And I'm finally drinking a decent beer.
There you go.
Oh, fantastic! Fantastic. It is very delicious. Sponsored by Bex.
Things to put the sticker on.
He's running out of things to put a sticker on.
The stickers.
Well, how's it going? Has London calmed down a little bit since we left, Mr. Tom?
The crime rate has gone down over since Monday or Tuesday. So
the crime rate, we didn't get in any trouble.
Oh,
yeah, I know. I mean, the odds of us getting into an international, some sort of international disturbance was supposed to be pretty high. I did put a pound note on it.
Macronomical said we're going into the craft beer business. You know, it might just work. We get some Stoop PAs.
Stranger things have been done.
Yeah,
there
you go.
Mr. Tom, do I have your match program?
Yeah, you do, sir.
Right, well, I'll sort that out. I'll get it to you. Because I ended up with 3. I know I found one, but I did wonder if it was yours or Jimmy's. So yeah, I'll send you the spare one, Lolo. So you've got one, and then you can send.
Oh, cool!
One.
Thank you. Because I want to send this to Ben, Arizona.
Yeah.
His brother sent in information about him, and he popped up in the program. He didn't even know about it. So I'm going to send him that.
To Ben, if you.
Oh, awesome. So
we'll work it out in the after show what we do. But yeah, man, it was. But may I say, what a pleasure it was having these 2 guys. Absolutely ball of a time. They were a bit worse for wear Monday, but we got through it, didn't we?
We went walking around York on Monday for like some fish and chips.
Yeah.
Pretty much silent the whole time.
Lolo's eyes were bigger than his belly.
Yeah. But
no, he had. No, he went through about 8 kebabs on the Sunday night. Yeah, that was Sunday
night. I ate everybody's food.
Yeah. I'm like, get a bag for it and save it for later. No, he ate it on the train.
Yeah.
So I gotta say, guys, all the fun that I had. There's tons of great moments, but you know what I was shocked about was that, after we did Who the Hell are Leeds United, and we started getting a Leeds United following. And it started going a little bit crazy. Then I wrote that poem, and it went even more crazy. And one day I was laughing with Mark, and I was like, if we ever make it to Leeds, we might actually get recognized somewhere. How crazy is that? I mean, with our American look, we're kind of easy to spot as well. But
that would never happen.
No,
we were like. That was like such wishful thinking of like, yeah, who knows? We may get, we're probably going to be in a football bar, so we might get recognized. We got recognized at Elland Road by the steward, the dude working the door.
Security guy.
The security guy. We got noticed by a table full of ladies that look like, they're older than me, but like a whole group of ladies out having a good night. They bought a table at Elland Road.
Seasoned ladies.
And she comes up and she goes,
ladies.
"You're Lolo. You're Lolo from Brooklyn." And then all the ladies start pulling their phones out and taking photos of me. And I'm like, they're like, "Where's the other fella?" And I was like, "Come over here."
To maybe put it in perspective for those who are watching, maybe if we say that they looked like they booked a bingo table.
Yeah,
like they were getting ready to play bingo.
Two little kids.
When you
kids
said
was the story, yeah.
They pulled out. I thought you were going to say they pulled their shirts up.
Yeah, maybe when I'm in New Orleans in a couple weeks that might happen, but but not in Yorkshire, I don't think.
We'll give a
It might.
shout,
It may
shout
have.
out
It
to the
may have
two
been
young
like
lads. Lolo.
shocking,
Yeah.
and one of those things that that would be like that is seen cannot be ever unseen. But if they did do that, that would have been funnier than hell.
That would have been awesome. Yeah,
It would have been a real. It would have been
that
a
would have
real
been
kicker.
awesome. But then I remember a moment at halftime, or right around at halftime, we're all like pissed off at the match already. We're kind of like, this is bullshit. We go up to buy some beers, and all they have is like Amstel.
Oh, it was piss.
Any good beer was
soda water.
gone.
It was piss.
So they had like they had some cider that was like mixed berry cider, a draft,
Strong
and it was like black, purple black. So I had it. It was very tasty, very sweet. But immediately, like, I sipped it, and the heartburn just like, and I start hiccuping. And I'm like, oh man, once I get the hiccups, y'all might not know this about me, but once I get the hiccups, I have them. If I don't take care of them right away, I'll have them for days. And not a good look walking out. Hey, Jermaine Beckford. It's bad enough I was drunk already, but so like, I can go up to the seat. The match is about to start again. And I was like, no, I need to handle this. I walk all the way downstairs and go like to the gate. And I lean on the gate like this. And I'm like holding my breath. I'm doing all the things that I know how to get rid of my hiccups. And this older gentleman walks up to me, and he's having a cigarette. And he goes, "You're fucking Lolo." And I was like, that got rid of the hiccups.
Yeah.
He scared the hell out of me. And he goes, "You're fucking Lolo." And I was like, what? And he's actually in the video of me. I was like, "Can I get a selfie with you?" And he's like, "Okay, yeah, sure." But that was another moment where I'm like, "Okay, thank you, cool. Hiccups are gone." I go upstairs. They're like, "Fucking red card." Shit. When I went and I took a piss in the Arsenal match, Harry Kane penalty. When I get the hiccups at the Leeds match, fucking red card. So I just need to glue my ass to the seat the next match I go to.
May I shame the people, if you are watching, that told Lolo to be quiet for trying to create an atmosphere at Elland Road.
That's why I said all but one person.
One guy.
Shameful, that person.
So the story behind that was we were sitting in a section that I kept looking over to Ben, and I was like, how come everyone's quiet here? Even when the rest of the stadium started chanting, some people in our section would start, and then it would die down. And it's like me and Mark and Ben. I mean, basically our whole row. We were trying to get loud, and we're furious at the way the match is going, and somebody from Villa just smashes into a Leeds player, and there was no card. So I start yelling, "Where's the yellow card, you cunt? Where's the yellow card, you cunt? Where's the yellow card, you cunt? And then people start, like, in our section, they're laughing, and they start like, yeah. And then a guy right in front of me turns around me and goes, "Cool it with the harsh language. There's kids here."
There was one kid.
To me,
there was a few
who's been
kids,
screaming "fuck Aston Villa."
They hear worse than
that
the
what was said?
street.
His dad was singing it with him.
Right.
Lolo, you frozen.
Yeah, I know. I
No,
froze for a
he's
second, and
just-
I was like,
Was it this guy?
And go.
Aston Villa sucks.
Look at the camera and say that.
Aston Villa sucks.
"That's the
Yeah.
one kid around us." And are you kidding me? Like, his dad's like, "Say it louder. Say it louder." He
His
was
dad
sitting
was
right
all
next to
right.
me over here.
His dad was cool.
There was no other kid around, and I just looked at him, the guy who said that to me, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And so I nearly got up and walked out. I actually walked over and sat at the edge,
Yeah, I
and
followed
Ben
you
was
there,
like,
yeah.
calm down. And I was like, "No, fuck this. We're trying to make an atmosphere. Your team needs you right now. You're down to 10 men. You should be louder right now." And it was flat.
It was flat, yeah.
So I was mad about that.
I was a bit embarrassed.
I was a bit embarrassed by the atmosphere. I mean, look, I get it's loud when you're in the singing section, but that was a poor atmosphere for Leeds United. I've been to many a game, and I've seen worse atmospheres. It wasn't toxic; it was just flat. It was the first game back after a month. It was Villa, so there was a bit of spice to it, and it was just like it wasn't even it wasn't even a nervous atmosphere. I've seen nervous atmospheres at Leeds where the crowd, you can feel the tension. There was no tension in the air. It was just, I don't know. It was just Sunday afternoon, wasn't it? It was.
Do you know what I think it was partly? I think it was the way the match was so stilted because of a certain Mr. Atwell. There was this feeling that Leeds weren't getting a chance to head forward because Villa kept it in the floor. So it had 1-0 Villa written all over it. That they were just one of their break it, because every time we got the ball, we'd pass it around and then end up fouling a Villa player allegedly. Whereas every time Villa got the ball, they were down the pitch within about 3 passes. So it had written all over it that they were going to win 1-0. And I think that was in the crowd. That feeling of dread.
Yeah.
And I hear what Ben saying, the hospitality and the East Stand Upper, which is where we were, right? We were the East Stand.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we were around people that have paid a lot of money for a ticket. So
I get that.
they're not going to be
I
the
get
most
that, but the
ardent-
rest of it,
yeah.
like when you heard something, it was coming from James's section, but it
Yeah,
didn't
that was
get
it,
picked
yeah.
up.
No,
It didn't
it
get
didn't get
picked
picked
up
up
and
at
moved
all.
around.
And we tried it. I think a couple of occasions it did pick up, but it was for 30 seconds, wasn't it? And then it just died again.
Yeah.
But look,
telling you,
the game to
scoring
me
goals.
anyway. The game to me, I've seen scores of Leeds games, and look, we didn't get beat, so that didn't tarnish the trip. The trip was all about you guys. So James, we got to meet James, didn't we, in the Scarborough Taps?
Yeah,
a lot
exactly.
a lot smaller than I was expecting. James.
Right on, Ben. Right on, Ben. He says, sounds like I would have got kicked out too. I didn't get kicked out. I fucking left.
He did literally. He was.
I was like, I'm going back to I'm going back to the prom where there's free beer, where there's free beer, and there's old ladies who like me. Like, no.
Can we get back into the tent anyway? Because we're missing the 2 young lads that think that this is the best show on YouTube, and then we're missing the creme de la creme, which I think only you can tell.
So these 2 guys here actually said we have the best show on YouTube. So which is crazy for young people to say, because they're
no doubt.
they know what's good on YouTube. We still don't know how to use YouTube properly. Clearly, I either get like kids music or football stuff, and that's it. Like I don't know.
I spoke to them. They were talking about last Friday.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's what it
probably
was.
Tom. Yeah, that's right. Even though their dad told me I don't really let them watch Happy Hour. I'm like, yeah, for good reason.
Yeah.
Shout out to him as well.
I was like,
watching.
who would let their kids watch Happy Hour? It's like,
a Leeds
watching
family.
a bunch of grown men drink and shoot the shit about football.
This is what you're going to be when you grow up, son.
With some of the
Take it in.
can be some of the harshest language that we can muster up.
We used to do this in something called a pub.
Hey, John. Ben Arizona is planning a trip to New York. Hopefully, he's going to come crash the Stoop. So we got to get the pool put out there for him, the hot tub for him. You know how he likes to watch football.
We'll get a couple of mixers on either side to turn it. The old school mixers.
I thought you were going to say we're going to get a couple of Mexicans to.
No, that's me, man. That's bring my cousins around.
Who else did you meet in the tent?
I met a lot of people.
Well,
I talked to Jermaine Beckford.
We met Jermaine Beckford.
No, I've met him before.
There is a story for.
Years of talking to him, you finally met him.
That's me. I actually.
Yeah.
That's the worst selfie in the planet.
Yeah, especially because you're like a foot taller than him.
I know.
Even though he's fairly tall. And there's James.
Yeah,
James and Mr. Tom.
I rudely interrupted Jermaine
Yeah,
was
so
he signing
Jermaine's
an
there in
autograph?
line.
Yeah.
Jermaine's got a line of people there, and he's signing autographs, and Ben just walks up to him and grabs him, and he's like, "Hey, mate, I want to talk to you." And he's like, "Okay, big guy, hold on a second." Like, he was literally signing something for somebody else. He's like, "All right, okay." But then when it was Ben's turn, he was like, "Hey, man, do you remember talking to a guy from Brooklyn?" Who wrote a poem, and he goes, "Yeah, Lolo, right?" And he turns and he points right at me, and I was like, "Oh fuck, he remembers me." Hi.
Oh,
It was
That was
cool.
awesome because I was about to go up and be like, "Oh, you remember I was like that?" But that's that moment in the video that you guys saw where he was like, "The stoop, the stoop, the stoop," because he really.
Do
Yeah.
we know who took? Do we know who took the photos of Lolo and I with Jermaine? Because I know someone took some.
Ben was
And they're not-
recording, so I don't know if he actually took
He
it.
was recording.
Because we stop
We
and
were
pose
both
for a
standing
minute.
with them.
let me have a look.
Yeah, and we pose, but I have that in the video. I don't have that.
Right.
And I tried to take a screen grab, but the whole time I'm like fucking with him, going, "So, are you gonna come on the show? Are you gonna be on the show?" And he's
I've
like,
got
"No,
just Mr. Tom and Beckford. That's it.
Right. That's the one that I have.
it's fine. We'll hang out with.
I've got
we'll
myself
hang out with him when
and
he
Mel.
comes here.
Mel Zico, the legend Sterland. He was there as well.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I liked
Ben Parker, if
how he
anyone
did
remembers
Beckford
him.
for FIFA.
When I asked him about playing FIFA,
Yeah.
yeah, and he said, "I'm shit," and I was like, "Me too. That's
I
why it'll be
remember that,
great."
yeah.
And he was like, "No,
But
it
he
probably
did
won't."
tell you to contact his people. I think we could get him on the show if we find these people. I think Twitter's probably our best avenue.
no, he actually has a he has a placeholder on the web that says these are my people. I looked it up.
Yeah.
So there is a way to honestly reach his people and to reach through them
He'd
to
probably
him.
do it.
I think
I
he'd
think
do
so.
it.
He'd do it.
I
It was
think so.
genuine, yeah.
It won't be live, obviously, because
No, we would have to have
midnight.
have him come in at like
Yeah, it'd have to be
O'clock our time.
it'd probably be to
it
his.
have to be during
yeah,
the day.
yeah.
He will turn around and go, "I've got 20 minutes at 3 o'clock," and then you'll be like, "Fuck, what's that in America time? All right, we're getting up early, Lolo." That'd be it.
No, and then he would clearly also have to. He would probably want his people to watch it before we posted it because we are crazy bastards that say crazy
Yeah.
shit. So I don't
No,
like
we
if I
would-
was
we-
him, I wouldn't say yes to our show. Are you out of your mind?
I would all day long. I think he.
Not
no,
carte
but
blanche. I'd be
I-
like, yeah, let's do
I
it.
also
And
think the guy's
but
got
we
a
won't be
sense
on
of
it, it'd
humour.
be you two.
Be you two and him, and unless you invited us, do you know? But
Yeah.
if it had to
We
be
would
you
do it
two and
like-
him, it was you two and him.
Yeah, we would do it from the stoop
Yeah,
during the
It's-
day.
yeah, it would have to be from the
Sure.
stoop. But the real thing, the thing to do with Jermaine Beckford would be to find out or ask him like, hey, when are you going to be in New York? Are you going to be, doing anything like that? Come to the stoop, because that he
yeah.
would be way more interested
Yeah.
in. I'm just assuming.
send him
but-
also
It
send
doesn't
also
stand
send him
outside
your
house, you know.
credentials, man. If you sent him your credentials as well, I think that'd carry a lot of weight because
Because you're bona fide.
you've got a good CV. Let's be honest, a really good CV. So yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're approaching him while drunk probably isn't the one thing you should hang.
No,
your hat
I
on.
mean, I gotta say, like half the videos that we have, and I'm like looking to put them together in like a montage. I'm like, ooh, we do not look. Ooh, that's not. That's not good look.
I mean, you have a good.
Oh,
you're
here we
having
go.
a
Let
good time, but,
everybody. We have a slideshow. That's
we
on the
pretty
line.
much drank the entire time.
I'm
Might
the
look like a
diversion.
serial killer in that bottom right picture. Then
I've been told.
that's the best pint you had in London. Am I right?
Oh my goodness!
The
I
Sam
wish I could
Smith
find
was
that.
absolutely
The Samuel
fantastic.
Smith the best beer I've ever
does
had.
look
But it was the
You know,
hand pump as well.
hand-drawn.
So,
Yeah, they're all
You
the
know.
same. They're all the same from Samuel Smith.
Yeah,
He
but
has
it
a
had
strict
the
policy.
perfect
Everything.
carbonation level. It was fantastic.
You're not allowed to use mobile phones in his pubs. There's all sorts of strict rules, but his beers and it's all good shit.
That's Gary's dad, by the way. And there's Bondi.
And his
He made it
studio,
to-
yeah.
And there's Gary
And they
looking
have the
like a serial
studio.
killer.
And Gary, in the light
Well,
of
Gary's
his
being-
ginormous
I know you're
folding
listening,
phone.
Gary.
Gary's
Gary
actually
carries
taking
a
a picture of the
25-inch
ceiling right
television. He takes a 25-inch television as his cell phone. I don't know if you knew this. And then every time he tries to take a selfie, he shoots the ceiling and then your forehead. And he goes, "There we go, got it." And he posts it. And I'm like, "Why? What did you? First of all, why did you take that photo?"
I was referring to his phone as the Jumbotron.
The
It is
Jumbotron.
Takes about
amazingly
6 years to unfold
large.
it.
Did you find your tobacco
Who
on the way
knows?
home in your case?
Hey, that's my Gunner meat pie. Hey, and that's
knew that Lee Judges had
Lee
ever been on the
Lee
Stoop?
Judges. And he's not pointing at me. He's pointing at drunk ass Will.
Cool.
Oh, who's fucking fantastic. And then this is at the Tollington. They told us, they gave us permission to put the On the Stoop with Lolo badge on their front fucking door. So anyone who goes to the Tollington, get a photo with that. Boom, right there.
You had
Brooklyn
to make sure
representing.
it's straight though, didn't you?
Yeah, she said make sure it's straight or I'll fucking take it off. I was like, okay.
She's serious too.
And there's Pincushion in the comments who met up with us.
Yes, Ian.
Glad you could join
Pleasure
us.
to meet you,
Jim-
Ian.
Jimmy says,
Absolutely.
my
I'm
missus
not
and
gonna
mom are
lie.
highly amused. Sorry, John.
I'm
Are
not
highly
look-
amused that you caught me on camera. Jimmy, don't tell anybody. We're
Yeah,
not telling anybody who you are.
And I'm just gonna say to Ian Pincushion, you're not as scary as I thought you was gonna be. He
All
understands
right,
what I mean. We
Scarborough
had a-
Taps.
That was the best. I loved it in there.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Do we remember the guys who, if we go back the one that's
I've got
standing
his-
between Gary and
I've
Ben?
got his phone number. He
Do you
texted me.
remember his name?
Oh,
Because
I got his
he
name.
came up to us on the street, and that was like really amazing. Because he
He
was
started
like actually
yelling,
kind of
"Who
shy
dat?"
about it.
Who dat?
You
Who
know?
He
dat?
was yelling "Who dat" at us, so he knows
Yeah.
us so well that he knows I'm a Saints fan, and to yell "Who dat." Probably because the night before we were saying we were yelling "Who dat," but
No, I've not got his
I
name. I've
forget.
just got like text.
Well, he
I've
was
got his
a
number.
real stand-up cat, and just just having him come up to us with such humbleness, it was insane. It's like
Well,
he wanted to buy us a beer, and I was like, "No, you're coming." Lolo said, "Hey, you're coming with us, man. You're drinking back here with us."
There's an Arsenal fan there and an ex-Arsenal fan.
there you go.
He put me right, didn't he? I always thought he was an Everton
He did.
fan, and he put me
He
right.
did.
He said, "No, I supported Arsenal as a child."
Look at Jimmy covering his face so nobody could see him. It's a great photo. Shout out to Phil. Phil was good crack as well. He said that if he didn't work
and
for the
Dave,
police, he would have stayed out with us all night.
The top guy
was like,
Dave
wait.
is as well.
Oh shit, that's right. I remember him saying that he was
Yeah.
like a constable or something.
Phil and Amy, who are constant viewers of the show, even though they don't get in the comment section, I was glad that they were able to win one of the tickets as well. There's that Stoop banner. It's not small, is it?
No,
Because Ben's like 12 feet tall.
Exactly. It's just really far away from Ben.
it's a full
I'm
size
standing
flag.
on my
yeah.
luggage. Great fucking trip. Let me ask you guys, what
Memories.
was the not shocking, but what was the biggest thing that surprised you? Either meeting me and Mark or meeting any of the Stoop crew or any of like what was one of the
Right.
biggest
I've got
like
two answers to that question because Stoop related. What the people wise, the biggest thing that surprised me was James was tiny, and I know next to me you are small, but James was a lot smaller than I thought he was going to be. But surprise-wise was someone come up to me and remembered me, and they said to me, "I was watching you on Friday night, and I really wasn't. I was expecting you guys to get some publicity, but not myself, you know, and that was quite humbling." So yeah, but overall, it was great to meet you. You two are even better in person than you are live on here, you know. But overall, it was just the magnitude of how far it's come from. Everyone's got our own Stoop story from when we started watching you to, you know, meeting each other, and just how far it had come and how many different people made the effort.
So you're kind of
Over the
saying, like,
weekend.
where were you when JFK was shot?
Yeah, that's
And
the
where
sort
were
of
you when
moment.
you fought?
Yeah,
watched
all
the
that was missing, man, was you. That was all that was missing.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's got to be done again with John. But yeah,
Tom?
it was just overall, it was humbling. Yeah.
Ben gave me this. He gave me this.
Legion
He
of
literally
Doom.
gave me. Yeah,
I thought that's who that
incredible.
was.
I was like,
We were drinking with
I
that.
tried to bring Hulk, but apparently he's been misplaced. So
But it's all
I had
good
to bring him
because
out here, but
he's at a better home now. He's more suited in the dungeon than he is here with me. So yeah.
he gave me a figure.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you, Ben.
I think that
That's
right
all
there
right,
says it best from Bremner's Ghost. From who the fuck is our leads to Stoop Crew on tour. It's and all the countless shows in between. And I would have to count back, but I still think that it is like our 500th or 1000th show. You know, somewhere of something that we broadcast while we were over there in London and in Leeds.
And
Bandy,
I think that we proved that it's a family. It's not a community. It's a family.
absolutely,
Definitely.
absolutely. You know,
I mean,
Yeah, and
yeah.
like a
Talk to
family,
Bandy
I
about
thought-
that.
I think oh, go on. It's fine.
We sat in his home and had a home cooked meal in a foreign country with a guy that we've never met, but we walked in and hugged like we were the oldest of friends.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
his
sure.
his wife came and picked us up at a pub in
And
her car.
October as well.
Like
Proper British. Yeah, that's
just
hospitality
fucking
right there.
nuts.
Proper British.
Yeah.
And then got us an Uber home. Like it was just
everything was
fantastic.
above and beyond.
I'm sorry I wasn't there,
Did you
Bandy.
end up getting
Because
Oh, Ben,
yes,
you'll love this. I don't know if Bandy's told you, but Bandy, he kept talking about that he was so chuffed that Ben wasn't there, that he didn't get a chance to meet Ben. That was his big thing. He kept saying, Ben, Ben, Ben.
Bless him.
And then, like, I looked in my bag of tobacco, and I had a nug of weed.
that's what I said.
that-
Did you find the tobacco?
that Ben had grown, and I went, Bandy, this is homegrown from Ben. Here you go. So anytime you're like, oh man, Ben, this is to you.
That's wrong on so many levels.
He loved it. He was so happy. He was so happy.
Yeah, but think of like what you're saying.
It's not
Where it
legal
was
in this.
grown.
That I
it's
gave
not
him some
legal in this
homegrown
country.
weed.
Yeah.
That this guy, I know what I'm saying, and it makes sense. No?
Yeah, but
Am I
you
saying
just-
something
you
wrong?
just told the world I grow weed.
I know.
No, 36 people. Okay, here we go. All right, Ben.
Allegedly,
Time
allegedly.
to move again.
Allegedly.
Time to move again.
Allegedly.
I was talking about Ben,
Allegedly.
Arizona.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I think most people know who watch this show anyway. So, no, but yeah, I'm
John,
enjoy
get
that,
started
Bandy.
on the GoFundMe for Ben's
Enjoy that,
second
but-
court appearance.
But I
They
will
may be
make an
two
effort
of
to come
our
and see you,
faithful
Bandy, when I'm in London.
subscribers. Sorry, I forget because it's all legal here. So,
No, it's cool, man. It's cool. That was quite funny.
but no, he was very happy about that. See, and you're showing it anyway. They'll come and get you anyway. Yeah. I just have to say, it was very nice to see all the stoopers out there, and to see some of these stoop crew members
No.
who clearly, or not clearly, but maybe don't put themselves out there that much, and maybe don't go to events like this very much. But we did something to make them more comfortable. People who aren't as out there as we are. Hey, and there's Rob Colton there, who's also massively tall. Because I'm like 6
He's
foot.
a nice guy.
Enjoying it now, says Bondi. But I gotta say, it felt good to hear from people like, I don't go out that much, but I had to come out to see you guys. I'd rather not go and do this, but I gotta come see you guys.
Sorry.
What was that all about?
Sorry. My phone just did something daft and I was trying to stop it. So I was looking up that whatever is 420 on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Don't be looking up other YouTube shows while we're here. You should have every single device on our show right now.
Well, it was on your show, and I did right there. I'll have a look if that's what I was doing, and the advert came on because I'd not logged on it.
36 people watching, 10 are police officers. Absolutely.
When I watch you on the
And
phone,
they-
I get
and they
adverts.
Enjoy our show.
I subscribe to you, right, and I still get adverts when I watch you on the phone. It's terrible.
I get adverts when I watch my
I
show.
get adverts.
It's like, what the fuck, man? I pay
I was
money for
telling
this
Mark,
shit.
I will never wear Arc'teryx stuff because that's the only advertisement that comes on my YouTube is for Arc'teryx, to the point where my daughter even sees an Arc'teryx ad and she goes, "Oh, I hate Arc'teryx." And then Mark is like, "I'm wearing Arc'teryx?" I'm like, "Oh, I hate that." There we are. Meta.
There we are.
I promise you guys, we will get to some football talk. We'll be talking about the weekend coming up in the second half of the show. We just had to do a little bit of this old school,
Right,
everybody
well,
come to my house and check out my
Let's
Sorry,
do
can I-
let's
summer
do some
vacation.
Sorry,
let's do some football and let's go on,
Sorry,
go on, Tom.
I said
sorry,
second
Ben.
half of the
So
show.
important. I'd like to thank Mr. David Villamartine for
Yeah,
going
Dave's
slightly above and beyond everyone, even though everyone helped, but to make sure that I actually got home when I was hoping to, or intended to.
Did I not get you on the
by
right
sorting it
train?
out. Yeah, luckily everything was delayed anyway, so it's fine. But
Well, no, may I
didn't
shout
know
out to Villa Martin? What a guy, nice guy, genuinely top bloke.
he
Yeah.
went,
Fair play
he
to
went-
that guy.
Top door,
'cause
absolutely.
someone who will go unnamed decided we can walk from Elland Road to the train station, and then was like, I don't actually know the route though, and then pulled up on Google. Oh, it'd take about 35 minutes. Then Villa Martin was like, no, it won't. Bang, Uber.
Uber.
Bang, Uber.
Wait,
was like,
who was it that
"Very
wanted
nice
to
of you,
walk?
sir."
Mark. Oh yeah, we'll walk it. It's only 10 minutes. I thought, how the fuck does he know?
It was me. How was
Was
it
it
me?
you?
I was in the back. I was in the back of the group
was-
with some other dudes
You
that we
was
met.
leading some.
You were
fucking
leading
mad-
the trail.
You was a stoop like onwards. Follow me.
I could have sworn I was in the back of the line.
And then the next thing
You
we was
were,
at the side
you
of the
were
motorway.
when you decided that you would show everybody how to walk.
P-walk?
this.
P-walk, say it
P-walk.
right.
P-walk. So
Fucking
you
legend,
turned
you
around
guy.
and started P-walking, and then you met up with the other people who were waiting.
Because they were
for
like
Uber
diving in
over there.
bushes, and I'm like, that's so sketchy. Just P-walk. Come on. 2
I
miles,
was-
that's nothing.
I was more being vague about it because I don't actually know who it was. I just know that it happened. So otherwise, I would happily go, yeah, it was Lolo, fucking cunt. But
Just
anyway,
go, yeah, it was Lolo, the fucking cunt.
I don't remember. I could have sworn I was in the back of the line at that point.
Either way, got an Uber. My ass was on that
Yeah, you was
train.
probably at the back of the line. That was it. Yeah, walk, guys, walk. Yeah,
Great.
good
Yeah,
idea.
walk, you lazy bastards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Villa, thank you
I
very,
was-
very much for taking care of that for us because I had no idea where I was. None whatsoever. And it looked
We was,
like,
we was under a dodgy tunnel to you because that's where we was when we decided, fuck it, walk. We was on the underpass.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we'd probably walk that far back and forth from the pavilion to Billy's bar to the Peacock, or
Right.
remember we
Well,
got
we
like last
definitely
call
walked-
at every single bar.
We definitely walked that far
let's talk
from.
your experiences on actual Premier League football match. What was your take on watching it live to watching it on TV every week?
So
Because you had good views from both stadiums, didn't you?
watching it is something completely different. Watching it on television is, yes, you get all these different angles and things like that. But for example, watching Arsenal, I know Thomas Partey is a good player. I know he's a good midfielder, but I can start to discount him to discount what he does in a match if he doesn't get involved on goals or all that. However, watching live, my eyes were fucking glued to Thomas Partey. I wasn't watching Jesus. The way you watch it on television, they're showing all the fancy footwork. Meanwhile, Partey's putting in a shift where every ball that's crossed, he's just standing. We were calling him the magnet because it looked like it was just going straight to him. But every time that happened, he was in a different part of the pitch. He was just in the right position. That is boring television. But watching it from this high up angle, I was like, fucking Partey, man of the match, even if he didn't get that goal.
You actually see the movement and the tactical side of the game.
It reminded me back to when we were talking about Calvin Phillips, and I remember Mark saying something like, I don't get all the hype or something, and then we told him to specifically watch Calvin Phillips. A couple weeks later, he was like, no, I get you, because I had to, like, as much as I can from TV, like, watch him play. Yeah. This was just, like, blatant. It was like the Partey show.
Yeah.
And as much fancy footwork as happens, that's just football. That's just, he was just like, that's how you know.
You see it in the NFL. When you're watching a player in the NFL, you're watching the attacking team. You don't really pay attention to the blocking that's going on, unless
blocking,
or the movement, or the guy that's in the right place every time. You miss that, don't you? Because you're drawn to the quarterback every time.
Yeah. Told you to not trust Denver.
I gotta say, for me, like my whole experience was the atmosphere. Just the chanting, the singing, and just the crowds, and then as far as like the actual football itself is, exactly, you're a part of it, but then also just you can see the entire movement on the pitch all at once. You're not just watching a small section that's on camera. You're able to see them move up and down the pitch, as the game progresses, and it was amazing. I mean, it was my first.
Was amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
and
in
to
both
feel
places,
it, right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
To feel it, like when I have that clip of us cheering the first goal, and we were standing there, and I went, I feel something, and I put my phone up there, and I pressed record.
I did not put my hands on him.
But it's something that you can't, if you're watching a match on television, you go like, wow, that goal came out of nowhere. And yes, the Partey goal came out of nowhere, but there was a feeling. People were standing up. There was like, oh shit, something. And then
I got that feeling the first time I walked into Elland Road. I went to, believe it or not, I went to Anfield first as a kid, and then to Old Trafford before I ever went to Elland Road, and they were the two biggest teams in England. Yeah. And the first time I went to Elland Road with my dad, and I walked up the steps into the stadium, and I just got that feeling, that the atmosphere, everything,
tingle?
That little tingle, and Lolo would have got that probably 5 times over when you walked in, at the Emirates.
Oh my! Walking up to the grounds, walking through the turnstiles, walking in, buying a beer,
you see the grass.
Fucking when they finally were letting the Tottenham fans in. I have that video. I didn't put it anywhere, but they had to like have armed security bring in the Tottenham fans, and
David
we were
Batty
all
was
up
my
above
favourite
watching
too.
them from above, screaming at them, and all of that was fantastic. And for one moment, after they scored the goal, Tottenham scored the goal to equalize the penalty that I called. It got a little bit quiet, and all you heard was the small Tottenham contingency chanting. And then you just felt this, like, no, that's wrong. And an uproar came up of, like, no, they are not going to be the loudest thing here. And that was amazing. I have to say, I did feel that at Elland Road a few times when the Villa fans got loud. You did feel the people in like James's section shut them down.
I do feel though that I heard more of Villa than I did of Leeds and the whole experience. Oops, sorry, I just knocked the air. But
I
yeah,
was embarrassed more because of how much we've talked a big game about our audience for the last 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is. Like, oh, we're Leeds, we drown out everyone. And then
so
we sit
next
there and
time
it's
you
like,
come, we're
it's like
taking you
sat in
to
a
an away
funeral home.
game. We're going to take you to an away game next time you come, and yeah,
Yeah,
we'll try again.
that should also be fantastic.
That would be out of this world crazy.
And Mark needs to get to see the Wolves.
Yeah. Well, we've got another Stoop crew, another Stooper here that I just realized is down here. Probably just waiting for part
It's
2
not
of the
that
show where
New
we
Jersey
talk football.
dirty twat, is it?
It is the guy who wants to talk about how his team is going to lose this weekend.
I've
so
put them to lose. I've put
You
them to
built
lose.
it up so well.
we'll bring him in for a few minutes until we get to
Chris.
there we go, Chris.
I had that same feeling when I saw Avatar on IMAX. No.
Yeah, when I saw Disney on Ice.
Yeah. When I
saw that 2
first
weeks
had
ago.
when I first had the McRib, I had that same feeling.
The McRib. Fucking hell. It's the Szechuan sauce, Marty.
It's not the McRib itself, it's the sauce they put on it.
The Szechuan sauce.
It's
Rick
just
and
sugar.
Morty.
It's just fucking sugar.
It's delicious. I couldn't get enough of it.
What's up, Chris? How are you, man?
back in
Did you
time
miss
just to
us?
get it.
First of
You
all,
know, don't you, Mark?
Oh God,
It's the Szechuan sauce, Morty. It's that
one of my
Szechuan sauce.
favorite shows.
Pickle Rick.
I turn myself into a pickle.
If you haven't watched Rick and Morty, watch Rick and Morty.
They actually had Rick and Morty on
Can
the
you
screen
believe this,
at the-
Chris?
at the-
fucking pints for $4, £4. I got a pint and a pie for £7.
Is this at Elland Road?
Where's this?
No, this is
No,
at
this
Emirates.
This is the Emirates.
I would have thought they would have been stupid expensive there.
Yeah, no, we got
that is expensive.
drunk.
No, Elland Road was
£4.
stupidly expensive. It was.
Oh,
it was
they
like,
were roughly the same price.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
if you get
five-
a beer
and
at
I-
a New York
no,
Brewery,
but the
That was
difference
the
was-
only one that wasn't drinking the Amstel every time.
The difference
I asked
was
for
it was
a
£4.95.
proper beer, it was-
£4.95 for a pint of piss. That's what that Amstel was. And then
Well,
you,
well,
you,
they
you,
had
you,
they had a
where
tap.
did you get the John Smiths?
it's like
I
a
just
told us
asked
they were
for it,
out.
They gave it to me.
Beer.
They're
We
like,
got
"Oh, you
fucked
look like
clean off.
you look like a proper young man." We're
I
gonna
was just
give you-
thinking
we're gonna
I
give you-
think, yeah. You know what I think happened? They said, we aren't selling enough Amstel. Tell them we're out of everything until they'd sold enough of that piss. And then you
Ben
managed
walked up with half a pint and said, "This is shit, and I don't want it." And they said, "Okay, let me refill it for you." And they refilled it and gave it back to him. And Ben was like, "All right, I have blood," and walked away. And I was like, "You just lost. You think you won
was like,
because you got
why
half
did
a
you-
free beer. You just lost again.
No, but I looked at it and I thought that's not what I wanted.
That's not what you wanted. You were like half proud and then half like,
Did
"But
we get a
fuck, now
can
I
of
have to
something?
drink
What
this."
did me and you get a can of? It was like,
You guys got like that gin and tonic.
I don't even like gin and tonic.
Yeah,
but I
can
was
of gin and
just-
tonic.
I just
It
thought
was a
it's
can
better
of
than
gin
this.
and tonic.
It's
Yeah, it was terrible.
fucking awful.
What
Elland Road
beer
is.
can you get at Elland Road?
Elland Road was corporate. as
Amstel,
fuck.
that's what I'm talking
It's
about.
Amstel
Amstel.
and John Smith. Somebody Smith.
It wasn't even Carlin. It wasn't even British beer. It
Wasn't
was
Samuel
I
Smith?
got to meet a WWF employee, and he now follows me on Twitter.
That was true. That was true.
Yeah. It was nice
Shout
meeting
out to my man Keith Greenberg.
I do feel, Mr. Tom, all your dreams all your wishes were granted from this trip.
I know. I was sat there like, I
Ca-
want to meet Pink Cushion, and I met Pink Cushion.
Pink Cushion.
Like
No, Ian was cool, man. May I ask Ian in the comments?
He was awesome.
How
I'm
did
not
you
even
how
being
did you get in the
sarcasm.
tent? Did you have a ticket for the tent, or did you just manage to get in the tent and hope that the security guard isn't watching right now?
I believe he coincidentally managed to get a ticket independently of the Stoop.
I think he must have
Yeah, I don't
just
know.
said, "I'm part of the Stoop, I'm Pink Cushion," to the security guard, and he's gone, "Yeah, off you go, kid."
Yeah, off you go.
That's better than my story. Which
Don't
is
murder Jermaine
probably
Beckford,
what
please.
Yeah. So, Chris, I promise we will, in the second part of the show, we will talk football this upcoming weekend. We just had to show everybody our slideshow of photos that we did. John says no. But right now, should do you think we should kick off the football with Mr. Tom's betting in the dark?
Absolutely.
So why don't we take our little bio break right now?
Yeah, just to.
And then we'll kick
Hello,
off
people.
with with football talk.
It is a few minutes longer than usual, but it's well worth sticking around and watching. So
What do you want to do?
I think so.
So we're gonna take our break
I
right
don't-
now. I'm gonna show a little video, and everybody can have a bio break, and then we will be back at the end of this video to talk actual football, talk Premier League football. So stick around for that. And if you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, we are going to be doing for the bio break a little bit longer than usual, kind of like 3 times as long. So everybody, go have a good old bio break. We're going to be watching The Trip of a Lifetime. So, Chris, if you haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it.
I will.
All right, boys.
let's see after the break.
We'll see you all after the break. Don't go nowhere. All right, man. The day is here. We've spent all day packing. We've just got a few last-minute decisions to make of what fits in the bag and what doesn't fit in the bag.
I got room for these toys. I want them.
I know. Ben and Tom need some of those, and they're going to be complaining if they don't get them. Even Director John is over here to wish us goodbye or
Whatever we're doing.
Get the hell out of here. So we had to drink our last little freedom beers just to remember what American beer tastes like before we drink that tough shit.
We're never coming back to this swill ever again.
We'll see you in the cab. This is fucking taking forever. We were just talking about how this is crazy that we're actually doing this, because when we started the show and we started getting more and more fans from Leeds and more fans from Arsenal and things like that, is saying like, yeah, one day it would be awesome to go to Elland Road. One day it would be awesome to go to London.
I gotta say, it was something
it was there. It was
always something we talked about.
Yeah.
We always talked about it, but we never actually talked about seeing an actual show.
Yeah.
Or an actual game. We were like, oh, we'll sit on the stairs of whatever stadium, Elland Road,
yeah.
at the
because
Emirates,
we can't afford to get in.
wherever, because we're just like broke, and it's COVID took everything. But here we are, 3 seasons later, and we are not only seeing a match, but we are seeing matches that are beyond the wildest dreams. Hold on, blowing the mind. Woo! Like North London Derby is going to be awesome, and I can't believe we're going to be going there. We're going to be at Leeds. I can't believe we're going there. But more importantly, I can't believe I'm going to meet Mr. Tom in the flesh. I can't believe I'm going to meet Ben Ireland in the flesh.
You're going to meet James
I'm
Reeves in the flesh.
I'm going to meet James, the legend, the Loof Guru. I'm going to meet Villa Martine.
You already met Villa Martine.
Oh, shit, did I?
Yeah, he came to the
Oh,
Stoop,
that's
remember?
right.
All right, we finally made it to the airport. Well, let's get inside. We ain't got no bags to
Do
check or
this.
nothing. Let's go find ourselves a beer, no?
Oh, 2 beers.
All right, London, here we come. You said something very funny right now. You said, "Here's to the North London Derby. May the right team
may the right team win.
May the
Absolutely,
right team
because
win.
I gotta
Who's
say,
the right team?
I think we all know who the right team is. Because look, we got 3 days after the North London Derby to be in England, to be in London, to be in Leeds. And the last thing I want is old sourpuss here crying about some red card, crying about some foul, crying about some penalty that Kane was able to score a goal and take the
That's
lead.
going to happen.
I don't want any of that.
That's going to happen.
What I want is I want this man happy the day after his 40th birthday.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm happy right now, so let's
That's
make it
what
happen.
I want.
We'll see
so
y'all.
may the right team win.
We'll see y'all on the plains.
3 years in the making. Coming for you.
Please visit shop.va.com to discover the packages
Paddington Station. Boom, boom. Tired.
We are.
We got a shot?
Cheers for a little bit of liquor.
Cheers for my birthday. Gotta go to the half. All right, Mark. Cheers, man. Proper pint.
Best pint in the world right here today.
Gotta say, we're trying Samuel Smith's for the first time in a proper pub. Great little rainy ass London day. Feels about right. And there it is. What's going on, y'all? We are here at the Emirates for the first time ever. I'm so excited. Gary, are you just flipping out? I'm flipping out.
Can't wait to get to the stadium.
It's my first Premier League game, and look what they've done to me.
Look,
Look
we
what
got Mark
they've done
and
to
the kids.
me. Mark is the Gooner! Mark is the Gooner! Mark is the Gooner! Back again. It's crazy.
Speechless. We finally fucking made it inside.
We are inside.
We are at the Emirates.
tickets
You can
worked?
see the pitch back there.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm so
We got
excited.
our beverages
As if
ready
there
to
was any
go.
question.
£4 for a beer. In the US, it's like $15
It's 15, 20
for
bucks
like
in
a
the state.
Budweiser.
And that's
This is
shitty
like a
beer. I'll
nice
never
beer.
go back to Budweiser after drinking beer in England. It's almost game time. It's almost game time.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Lolo. I'm here with Mark, and I got Gary here. I can hardly talk. I've been yelling so much in football.
Guess what we got? 90 minutes of
I said
football.
3-1 with a Kane penalty because that's the only way he can score.
And you know what I found out? Lolo is not allowed to go to the loo mid-game, okay?
I did go to the bathroom, and that's when the penalty happened. So it was my fault, but I needed. Oh! Let's go! Gary,
Yes, sir.
we didn't jinx him.
We did not.
I didn't want to hear about 12 years. Arsenal have never lost to Tottenham.
And it said
at
two
home.
Americans, three
And then-
Americans
and then
there, and then we
show up
lose.
and they lose. I'm so glad.
We're finally happy here. The legend. 2 years in the making.
All right, lads. What do you think of the match so far?
So far, so kind of boring. I gotta admit, I didn't expect a match like this.
What's going on, Mark?
Man, you know what? It was not the result that we wanted, but it was a hell of a time to stand there and sing, marching on together with 50,000 people, 30,000 people.
And it was bumpy at times, but I have to say I was a little concerned because it wasn't as bumping as I thought it might be.
I will take it. I will take it one way or the other.
And I'm out.
You're out.
And we're kicked out. And he's like,
that's the end.
Get off the stage. Because if you're wondering how are we on the stage, we don't have permission.
We have no permission.
And there's Jermaine Beckford, who actually remembered my name.
The Stoop.
The Stoop.
Oh my God. With Leeds United, right? We are one big family. It doesn't matter if you're in the UK, the US, Australia, it doesn't matter.
We've been feeling that. Hold on. We've been feeling that.
How much am I getting paid for this one?
20 quid.
No.
So like, it doesn't matter where you are, our reach as a family is massive.
It is.
And once you're a part of the family, part of the community, that's it. You're in, you know? So
that's let's show it. Leeds. There you go. Peace out, y'all. Thank you from Elland Road. Peace. Yo.
That was truly. If that doesn't sum it up, I don't know what would. That is actually my first time seeing that in its entirety, and that was like really cool. And what a good time.
Yeah, man. May I just say, I did say before you went that you'd see Budweiser as, no offense, Mr. Director John, but you'd see Budweiser as shit beer.
Oh, I know it's shit beer. I've been drinking it for years.
Great adverts, shit taste.
I'm sorry. I take that back.
Oh, no.
Well, fellas,
you know how much I love Guinness, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Guinness in a can just doesn't cut it. And
no, it doesn't.
If I get a keg of Guinness, I'll drink a keg of Guinness by myself. So I don't get a keg.
That sounds great, actually.
I like the ham triangle.
But it's a mini keg. You have like a mini keg refrigerator, right?
No, he's got
or
a
is
full
it a
keg.
full? He does have a full size kegerator.
I took photos of the food. I should have sent it to you.
Yeah, Macronomical. That must have been amazing. All right, fellas. Well, it's time. We have football starting in, 12 hours. We have another Premier League weekend ahead of us. So let's go ahead and kick it off with Mr. Tom's betting in the dark to see what we're looking at this week. All right, Tom? So stop munching those chips. get situated, and here we go.
Cyril.
Betting in the dark with Mr. Tom.
Come on, love, place your bets.
Right. Okay, everyone. Hello, greetings, good and tag, and all that.
Welcome back, Cyril.
Cyril, it was sad they didn't get to see you, Ben, but couldn't get him a train ticket.
That's cool, man.
So we're going with something nice and simple, just to whet the appetite. We're going to go Man City to win by exactly 4-0, Haaland to get at least 2 of the goals, De Bruyne to assist 1 of the 4 goals. He could turn 1 into 30. I don't think that needs too much research, but I did some. But anyway.
It's not bad odds, really.
I think it's pretty fair.
The only sketchy part is the 4-0 win. This could be, I would say, at least 4-0.
This
I
could
think
be
because of
8-0.
last season's draws, because they drew last year with them, I think similar to when Leeds beat them 2 years ago, and then they wanted to prove a point by giving us a bit of a hammering. I think that might be what happens here.
I have in my Super 6 gone 4-1 because I just feel like Ward-Prowse might get a free kick, or I just feel City are susceptible for conceding goals, and I just think they might concede 1 in this personally, but.
We'll then do the same thing, but before 1.
I feel like
you'd get even more money.
If this were only the second 2 bullet points, it would be like 0-1 odds.
Yeah,
because that's
it's
second 2 are just happening.
I mean, fucking Haaland played half a match in Champions League and he had 2 goals.
It's about 10-1, roughly.
That's a bet I would take all day.
What are the odds on him not scoring? Are they probably better?
I'm not sure.
So in other words,
here,
it might be over 3.5. Haaland to score a hat trick, and
his scoring rate is 66 goals just in the Premier League alone. If he maintains it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He's 9 goals away from last season's top scorer total when he's got 30 games left to beat it.
I like this one.
I've gone with Brighton to win 2-1. I've just got a feeling that Brighton, because the manager's a bit of an unknown. I know Chris knows about him, but with respect to him, the gentleman is a bit of an unknown quantity to most English fans. So there's no reason I can't think Brighton, because Brighton have had some joy against Tottenham recently. I believe they won there last season.
Brighton was such an attacking team as well, and I think that'll still be in their system for this game.
And basically, I think obviously Kane score or assist the goal they do get, and Spurs to get at least 3 cards.
I mean, those are. I would do this just because those odds are get 56 back. Yeah. I like that.
I went 1-0 Brighton with this one. I don't see Spurs scoring, to be honest, in this one. They were flat at the Emirates.
Yeah, and they looked fairly flat in the Champions League as well.
And Brighton are an attacking team. Yeah, but Brighton are good with the ball. They're good at recycling the ball. And I just feel that, I don't see Tottenham scoring, to be honest. I just don't.
I'm not saying Spurs are going to dominate the ball at any point, but they are once they do get the ball goes straight up top. So they can get a goal. They can catch them out.
No, I'm not saying they can. I personally don't think they will.
I mean, I don't want them to. I want Brighton to turn them over, going proper, because fuck Tottenham. But I think that could happen.
Yeah.
Y'all mentioned the manager. Who did Brighton end up getting?
Roberto Zadarbi from Shakhtar, but he wasn't at Shakhtar for very long. But he was really good at Sassuolo.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him.
Well, he took a team to 8th in Italy that doesn't have that kind of budget. He's a very bright.
Yeah, is it the same question? Why is Jose there?
Yeah, why is Jose in on the graphic, please? I was thinking.
Yeah, that confused me.
Because he looks so sad. That's why. That's the only
Okay, no reason. Yeah, cool.
Well, he should look sad. His Roma side fucked me up in midweek. I did them on the double chance to beat Betty. And then they fucking let in a goal. And
Well, more fucking fool you then.
Yeah, it is fucking for me. I was furious with him. It was more like, oh, Jose, you scamp, not taking Europa League seriously.
Meanwhile, Arsenal won 3-0.
Main event of the weekend. I'm going with the Arsenal to win by the same score as Brighton. Jesus to score or get shown the card that will rule him out of the match next week against Leeds, and Martin Odegaard get 1 of the assists. £52.
I picked the same score. I did. I picked the same score in Super 6. I think that's. I don't know about the Jesus to get the card shit, but I think he will score.
He doesn't have to get a card.
I think
score, I'll need him to get a card.
I think we need him to get back. I think our defense is going to be hard for. I think this is like got 1-1 written all.
Your problems lie with Salah thinking he can play deep, and that fucks Trent Alexander-Arnold up, and that fucks that side up for me. That's where your problems lie.
Yeah,
and when Trent's
Konate's in at right. I think he's got way more speed than anyone else on the center backs. I think 1-1.
This is the best chance Arsenal have of beating Liverpool for about 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like in the last, since we've been doing this show, Liverpool's been turning Arsenal over for fun.
But Arsenal could lose this, but I also feel that Arsenal could considerably win this if they turn up and Liverpool don't. Do you know? I do feel that.
I think if it's a blowout, it's an
both
Arsenal win, but I don't think it will be.
To actually win it, they're both the same odds. That's how tight it is. Or that's how much improved Arsenal are compared to Liverpool.
No, there is something to be said about that. I think this Europa League match against Bodo Glimt was our first clean sheet at the Emirates this season. Even though we've won, it's our first clean sheet. So going 2-1, yeah, I could totally see that. And you see holes in our defense where we've really fucked up at times, and Saliba has had the pace to catch up with people. Gabriel has been able to catch up and calmly defend. But it's what happened against Manchester United is we do play such an open brand of football right now, and we press and we go high, where we like to create a ton of space, which means there's space for other teams if they can utilize it. And Liverpool is definitely a team that can do that. But then you see like what happened with Liverpool and Brighton, like on one of those goals was Salah half-ass pressing and getting beat and throwing his hands in the air. Meanwhile, the play has continued on. Brighton goes down the pitch and scores a goal. So it's very interesting. And Jimmy, you're not too far off. Arsenal playing Bielsa ball. We are going fucking at it, and we press the keeper. We if they like to play out from the back, we love that right now. We try and catch them before that. But if they do successfully play out from the back, we can get screwed, especially with our
you know what's happened there, don't you?
Forward.
Ben White's took Arteta aside and says, "Look, your football's shit. Me and Eddie are going to show you how it's done." There you go.
Yep.
That works.
4 months. No, I watched the Arsenal game on Thursday, and just it was like in the first minute, Eddie will just press the goalkeeper back into 1970. It was impressive.
Yeah, Eddie's a boy, man.
That's what Eddie does, though. That's always been his thing. That's why he gets carded a lot too, is because
he fits straight into our team.
Don't all talk about Eddie now like you all knew his brilliance. When I was pushing him, when you were all sitting there going, fuck Eddie. Eddie's rubbish.
No. I never said it was brilliant. I never said it was brilliant. I said when it works, it's brilliant, but it only works every
when the
now
rest
and
of
then.
the team are on it. Yeah, it's not a one-man thing.
And I was screaming during the Europa League match. I was screaming at Marquinhos to like, yo, if Eddie's flying up there, you need to back him up. You need to also press your guy, because Marquinhos was leaving wide open lines where Eddie is successfully pressing, but they had an easy out because Marquinhos is playing like zone as opposed to going at him. So. It'll be much different with Saka and Martinelli and Odegaard in there, so we'll see. And as Macronomical says, Jesus loves to score against Liverpool, so
yes, he
let's
does.
bring that out.
Eddie's not going to play in this game.
Eddie's not going to. Eddie will come on late once we're up 4-1.
Eddie will be playing next Thursday. Eddie's a Thursday night player for the moment.
Yes, he is.
And he's going to score goals on Thursday night.
He's not going to play.
Score goals.
He's not going to play on Tuesdays and Wednesdays next year, though.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
It depends how many goals he scores on Thursdays. Realistically,
yes, it does. And if the fucking refs would just stop carding Jesus for the first foul he makes, even though he gets the shit kicked out of him all the time. He makes one foul and it's a yellow card straight away.
But just bringing Tuesday and Wednesdays up, Napoli are lighting your league up. Lighting it up.
They're the best team in Europe to watch right now.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, that's what
I've
read.
Slick team.
Jesus.
It's quite surprising from like I know Italian. They've got good European records, but yeah.
I can tell you what it is, Ben. I can tell you what it is. What you're saying, because it's the reputation of Italy from a betting perspective is if you do both teams not to score, or both teams to score no, or under 1.5, you'll probably win, because a lot of games finish 1-0 because the team goes 1-0 up and then sits behind the ball. That's the perception of Italy. But now they've got a couple of teams with American owners, right? Like Roma, for example, off the top of my head. And they basically looked at that and went, well, this is bollocks. Like, we ain't going to make any money playing this kind of football. So now Italy is now playing a slightly more attacking style of football.
The last 4 years, it's surpassed Spain and England for goals per game. It's still behind Germany, but it's much higher scoring now.
So let's get everybody's actual perception of or actual predictions for this Arsenal-Liverpool. Arsenal at home, undefeated at home so far. Actually won every match at home so far this season. Trying to create a sort of, a sort of, what do they call it?
A fortress.
A fortress. We're trying to create a fortress at home where we don't lose. Even when we go down, the fans are there to get us back up. So that actually comes into play, and it's something we saw at the North London Derby, where it did get quiet for a moment.
Bringing some soul back into the Emirates.
Exactly. It did get quiet for a moment after Kane scored, because it was like, fuck, here we go.
It's never had it, Ben.
Well, no, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. It's never had that Highbury thing.
Highbury had it.
Highbury was a good old ground. But my thoughts, I've gone 2-1.
Let me get your thoughts, Ben.
I've gone 2-1 Arsenal on my Super 6. I do think that's the score, but I also think it's Arsenal's to lose. They're flying high with confidence. They're top of the league. Liverpool haven't hit a gear yet. Look, they can win. Liverpool, they can play, but they can also come unstuck for me this season. So for me, it's Arsenal's to lose. I'm going 2-1 Arsenal.
All right, Tom?
Well, I've gone 2-1 for Ben in the dark, but with the same respect, it could just as easily go 2-1 the other way. It depends on who turns up. It's cliche and it happens for any football match, but it really depends on who turns up, who wants it more, things like that. I mean, they're tops. These are top six. This is top six football. Anyone can beat anyone as long as Man City ain't involved.
unless they're playing Palace. They fucking hate playing Palace. Mark, what are your thoughts?
Haaland doesn't.
I hear what the Leeds boys are saying in regards to that. This could be a letdown game for Arsenal. They're flying high,
Now let's remember, Mark, you're a gooner now.
Hold on.
You're
let
a gooner
me
now.
You're gonna have to let me finish. And let me finish here. So this could easily be a letdown game. Last year, I think that last year when they were flying high after when they started low and they were crushing it, there were times where things could slip away and did. The end of the season slipped away. And I think that was a lesson that was learned. And this one, it's the game in front of us. You've been saying it for the last few weeks during this successful run. Concentrate on the game in front of you. Concentrate on the game in front of you. I think that's what Arsenal is doing. And I'm gonna stick with 2-1. With everyone else with Jesus scoring.
I just had Michael Oliver's in charge.
They all suck.
I know they all suck, but I do think he tries to be a fair ref. I don't think there's any bias in his game. He's just sometimes his decisions are questionable.
Ben makes an interesting point here because I saw on Twitter, it happened to be last week, but the point it can apply to any week. They released a list of who's reffing what, and there will be someone upset about the appointment for every game for whatever reason. So ultimately, I think everyone just gets fucked by refs across the board.
I just don't want that prick again this season.
What did we do to Atwell? What did we do to him?
What's this? I heard he's a
on his mum?
I heard he's a fucking Villa fan, but you're gonna wear that shit. But
all right,
was
Chris.
Sorry.
I'm gonna say 1-1. I think hopefully I haven't seen that Konate is definitely gonna start, but I think he's gonna solidify the defense. I think Klopp is going to not play as free flowing. I'm not saying he's going to be cynical. He's never does what a Jose would do. But I think we'll try to play a more defensive game and then see if Louis, like a Luis Diaz can be effective, attacking on his own from the left side. Because I think that's the one side of the field I think we can attack is from that flank where your right back is.
Food sold the wrong player.
You mean Mr. Ben White?
Ben White can't keep up with Luis Diaz.
No.
I think you need to play.
Mane.
If Tomiyasu was healthy, I would.
But here's the thing:
Tomiyasu is healthy.
Luis Diaz is going to have to keep up with Ben White moving forward as well. So that pulls Luis Diaz back, unless he's going to hang out and let Ben White fly free.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Ben White on the flank. I think he's a good defensive.
I feel like 7 or 8 teams have already said that this season.
Yeah. If
Arsenal isn't the only thing flying high right now. Wow. I don't think. Oh, no. With this big grin on his face.
No, let me. Okay. So you said 1-1?
Yeah.
1-1? Okay. Listen. Everybody knows Liverpool's going to kick off at some point in the season, right? We all know that. They're just too good not to. And not enough has changed that they're going to see some sort of crazy downfall in one season. So it's going to kick off. The scary, worrying thing for me is that this is the perfect match for them to start their turnaround.
Well, the truth is, we almost need to win this match. If we lose this match and then we go into City the next match, we need 4 points out of these 2 games. Otherwise, I think even top 4 starts slipping away.
I think you need 6.
Yeah, that's where I'm thinking. I think you guys are sitting 9th right now. You got a game in hand though, so I mean you could technically be fifth place. If you had your game in hand and some goal difference, you've got like a +9 goal difference. So if you won your game, they have games in hand. They have games in hand as well. But all I'm saying is this is sort of the, you're coming up against Arsenal right now, which last season wouldn't have been such a huge deal, but the way we're playing, the way everybody's talking about us, the form that we're in, if y'all could get a result here, I could see you going into City and getting a result at City as well, because the confidence would be uplifted. If Jota scores, if anyone but Firmino scores, the confidence level is going to go through the roof. And you could walk into Manchester. I don't know if
Firmino's going to start. I mean, he's been too good. He's been too good not to start. And I also think he'll start because he provides more defensive contribution than Núñez can.
Yeah. So that being said, I feel that Liverpool will get the first goal of the match. If not, the first two. But that's when I think the old Arsenal would collapse. But this new, younger Arsenal that believes in each other and has the backing of the fans, it's not like we've blown teams out all season long. It's not like we've beaten teams, 2-0, kept a bunch of clean sheets. No, we've gone level with a lot of teams. Other teams have gone ahead of us, have had more than us, and we find a way to come back and win and come together as a team to do what's necessary to win. So I do think Liverpool will score first. I don't see a clean sheet for Arsenal here. But I think in the end, we win by 2. So either 3-1 or 4-2. That's what I think. And I think Jota scores. Jota always scores against us. So unless we break his leg.
Is he even fit?
Fit enough.
Playing again.
A lot of Liverpool players score against us.
I think we should be starting. We should be starting over Salah on the right side because you can't take Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz can't come out. He's the best player.
Did you sell the wrong player?
No, we sold the player who wanted to be sold.
See, that's just it. That's the one. He's the one that wanted to go.
Yeah.
I probably ask it every week. I can't remember.
Nah.
But it looks like you sold the wrong player.
He's not been totally. He's been kind of hit or miss with. Byron's been hit or miss, at least in the Bundesliga. He'll come good. I'm sure he'll score 20, 25 goals eventually over there. But
if you're a striker at Bayern and you don't score 25 goals, you won't be the striker for the next
That's the
season.
thing is he's not a replacement for Lewandowski. Like Haaland is a replacement for Lewandowski. You need a type of player like that. So,
do you know Lewandowski has scored like 11 goals in 11 games or something like that? It might be 11 in 10.
Yeah, but that's
no one's talking about it. No, but no one's talking. No, it's in Spain, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
what
I'm saying.
Barcelona.
Okay. So what's the Spanish word for farmer?
But
you speak Spanish, I would.
No one's talking about that.
Never met a farmer.
Because another player has done even more.
Figueira. Anyway. All right, so that's what we got for that. So guys, let's go on to, before we run out of time here, let's get Leeds United, Crystal Palace. I think you guys are in London, right? Or is that at home?
Yeah, but I don't think that's a thing anymore.
This will be, if we get a clean sheet, it will be our 4th clean sheet against Crystal Palace in a row, which we've only done against 3 other opponents in the Premier League.
Yeah, but you guys don't win much in London.
We wouldn't have to win, even if it was another 0-0 draw.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know. Crystal Palace,
11, 12?
Crystal Palace is a much better side than their record shows.
Agreed.
Even though when Arsenal play them, there's just fucking Crystal Palace at home. It's nothing. First match of the season, it's nothing.
Well, a sample size of 1 is not nearly as comprehensive as a sample size
and you know
of
what?
6 or 7.
City drawing against them has City in
Palace have
second
played at
place,
least 3
not
of them.
first place. So they are fucking important. But guys, what are we feeling about this? Mark, what are your thoughts? Crystal Palace Leeds.
You know, I pretty much agree with everything you just said as far as that Crystal Palace aren't as bad as their record. Leeds doesn't do very well in London, but as Tom pointed out, they have gotten the clean sheets, and you know Leeds doesn't keep a lot of clean sheets in the last season and a half. A draw.
That's your
I hate to
wishful
say
thinking.
it, you
I
know,
would
but
be happy with a draw, but at the same time, I would be concerned because our last win was against Chelsea, which
Right.
feels like a long time ago with respect to it.
Right, yeah. But not a lot of football has been played since.
A draw there would still be a good result in the scheme. Like as you said, Palace are going to pick up a lot of their points this season at home, and if they survive, which they probably will realistically, it will be because of home form and not away form. So getting points like getting the point there last season 0-0, it was a good result. In the end, it turned out to be an important point.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I think it's a draw here. I think it's 1-1. Palace scores first, and then in second half stoppage time, in true Leeds form from last year, they'll get an equalizer.
Sinistera out for this game with a red card.
Yes.
Definitely, yeah.
So I think you'll see Somerville or that's it. But I personally think same 1-1. I think it's going to be a tight, nitty-gritty affair. Lots of chances, both teams, but I just think it's going to be one of them tight ones. Neither wants to give up much. So I just think 1-1. I couldn't tell you who's going to score. Yeah.
It's going to be a difficult afternoon.
Yeah.
For sure.
By the way,
but either team could snatch it.
I hate that there's not a 12:30 kickoff tomorrow. That's like my favorite time to watch.
Wait, there's no 7 a.m. either, is there?
That's what I mean the 7:30.
Yeah, there's no 7 a.m.
Man United and Everton are playing at 7 o'clock our time on the Sunday.
Yeah. So I see Spurs and Brighton at 12:30 on this list.
Yeah, 12:30.
I'm talking about.
He's talking British time. The 7 a.m., the 7:30 a.m. There's no early match, so we have 4 matches at 10 a.m.
It's because BT Sport would have shown Liverpool at 12:30, like they always like to in England, but Arsenal played on Thursday, so they can't have that game on Saturday because of the 3-day rest thing. So basically, no one's playing at lunchtime.
Gotcha.
Or in the morning.
Now I follow.
Chris,
I'm with you on that one. I really do like that 7 o'clock game time.
Oh, my wife loves it. That means I have to get up with the girls. Yeah. Chris, what are your thoughts? Crystal Palace Leeds.
I don't mean to upset anyone, but I think Palace gets a win at home, and then the bottom half of the table starts getting tighter.
And I want my Rangers shirt for you.
I'm not a Rangers fan.
He's my team, the Red Wings.
He wore clothes for you.
Yeah. So before we get to the Leeds United fans' thoughts on this, unfortunately, I do see it as well. I think I'm going to say 2-1. I think somebody gets in, but I think Palace is going to take it 2-1. They are a good side. They are a good side. They're a tough little side.
I hugged you, man.
Yeah,
I hugged you.
But you're so tall. I got like whiffs of your armpits every time you hugged me.
Clean armpits.
Do you think this is going to be the best relegation battle we've had in years? Like,
why would you bring that up when you're talking about Leeds?
Not with Leeds, but I'm just saying the table in general. Like, I don't think.
I actually think Leeds will be fine.
Oh no, Leeds will be
I do
fine.
think Leeds will be fine.
Can I just make one slightly off the subject?
Depends what position you class the battle.
Nottingham Forest were going to sack their manager the other day, and today they've given him a new
They
5-year
extended
contract.
him, yeah.
That's the vote of confidence. He's
Devin
gone.
Lindsay, I'm right there with
I
you,
think
Devin
that's-
Lindsay. I'd throw Madison on your fantasy team, absolutely,
fine,
and
and
I've already done it.
I just had that choice, and I think I picked Foden. That's what I was doing 2 seconds ago. I was
It's
thinking,
crazy.
shit,
Like,
yeah.
imagine. So Leicester has scored 14 goals and given up 22. If they have Casper Schmeichel, they've probably only given up 11.
I couldn't believe they sold him. I really couldn't.
I can't believe Nice has already benched him.
His dad's a
Have
cunt,
they?
and so is he.
I read just before we
yeah,
went to London, he'd been benched.
Yeah, they don't like him. His teammates don't like him.
No,
He
he's a
basically
pompous
come in there-
ass.
He basically come in there like a big time Charlie. Like, I won the Premier League, I won the FA Cup, and they were all
Loan him
like,
back. Loan him back to Leicester.
He's a pompous
Yeah,
ass,
would
man.
that- see, but
Did you see his ITV interview? He's just a crybaby, fucking pompous, spoilt little fucking.
the only thing I know about him is that he essentially just, I don't know. I kind of think he shit on Leicester by doing what he did. He just up and decided I want out.
I think he was sold as like a power play by the manager. It was very much a like you run. You're at the you. It was like when we sold Pontus Jansson to Brentford. Similar thing.
Oh,
You sold him for a lot. You sold him for a lot less than he's worth. But to the manager, it's worth taking the hit because you're getting your dressing
he's
room
such
back.
a headache.
You're asserting your authority back.
I guess I didn't realize he was a headache until this conversation right now.
I'm hearing it for the first time myself, but these boys are much closer to the action than we are.
Because they only got what, £1 million for him?
They didn't get much.
It was like
They didn't. What did they pay off us?
We only got about £1 million off
Yeah.
Leicester for him when he was 10 years younger.
Yeah. And if he wasn't such a crybaby, he could have had a career at Leeds. But he didn't like us calling his dad a see you next Tuesday.
Right.
But we did
as
tell
far
him
as
he was
he
all
goes-
right. We did tell him he was all right.
What's the next match, Lolo?
Well, I just a quick mention for fantasy, just to let people know what I'm up to. I got rid of an Arsenal player and a City player, and I brought in 2 players from other teams because I have 3 Arsenal, 3 City, and coming up very soon, the following week is when Arsenal was supposed to play City. So Arsenal City is the only match that's not happening that week. So if you have 6 Arsenal City players in your team, you're going to be fucked that week, and you're going to have to take your free hit. So I'm starting to, move my way that way of like. So I got rid of Martinelli and I got rid of Bernardo Silva.
Goal fest draw.
What's that?
What?
You can hope it's a goal fest draw if you've got 6 players for 3. For
No,
Leeds.
they're not playing.
They're not playing at all.
They have a dead week.
Ah,
so
right.
if you have those players, you're going to have 6 players that can't play.
I do have 3 Arsenal, 3 City. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've started to move that. I got rid of Martinelli and I got rid of Bernardo. Bernardo's been good for an assist, and Martinelli's good for an assist here and there, maybe a goal. But
just swap Bernardo for Trossard, though. Yeah. So
no, not this week.
Where am I in the table, lads?
I can tell you who I took. I switched one out for Madison, who plays Bournemouth this week, and the other one for Conor Gallagher, who is getting more playing time, and they have a pretty cush schedule coming up playing Wolves. Sorry, Mark, but
none taken until the
he's
Wolves
the type of
prove me
player that's
otherwise.
perfect for
I just got rid of Aronson as well for Foden, so I'm back at 3 for 3.
But that leaves me with like $2 million in the bank as well because
Yeah, I've got
Gallagher's
2
way
million,
down.
Yeah.
So what's up with
and I think when I go back to my Arsenal players, I think I'm gonna fucking get Xhaka. Fucking dude is scoring and assisting nonstop, and he's getting bonus points.
I have Zinchenko, Saliba, and Jesus.
Yeah, so I have Saliba and Jesus left, which I'm not gonna get rid of him. But now I only have 4 Arsenal City players. I can take a hit of one player not playing.
Who
As
are
long
your
as my bench is good.
Who are your non-top 4 players?
I have 2 Brentford players. I have Mbomo and De Silva.
Mm-hmm.
But that week, they actually have a good matchup, if I remember correctly. I'm sitting in second place in a lot of my leagues, but I have to say I'm in like the 100, 200,000 in the entire like league, in the entire FPL. So
Yeah, scroll
that's not
down.
bad at
Scroll
all.
to the bottom. Scroll to the bottom, please.
Scroll to the bottom. Keep going.
I'm last.
You are last. You have 339 points. I think I'm in the 800s already.
I've not
No,
changed
I
my
can't be in
team
800.
since
I can't have
set
800
my
points.
team.
500, sorry.
Why is he still there? So I've got like Trossard, Aronson, Trippier, Veltman, and Gelhard. And
It's
man
all
on
part of
top
my
6.
plan to win it next season and do the biggest,
Well,
the biggest differential.
I'm
in
12th.
performance.
I'm 10th. I've moved up then.
Yeah, but Tom, in this league, if you come in last, you don't get to pick first next season. It's not that type of league.
Well, draft, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah, but
too
I'm already
American.
planning for next season.
What's that?
That'd be too American.
I think Mr. Tom should be allowed to pick 3 wrestlers in his team.
All right, fellas, let's pop off of fantasy football. John, sorry to thank you for bringing that up, but let's look at the rest of the matches this weekend and let's give our quick takes on these. So the first matchup, I believe, is Bournemouth-Leicester. Guys, does Leicester keep it going? They should, right?
Yeah, I do. I think so. I think 3-1. I think Bournemouth are going to score.
I think Madison's playing well. Daka's playing well. Leicester should win 4-1.
Should they, Chris? Should they
1-0.
fully start moving away from Vardy? Because I think that's what's been keeping Daka and Nacho from really flourishing. Should they just finally be done with
Did have a
Vardy?
decent game the other day.
I know. I would
Vardy.
play. I think you bring in Vardy in the second half, 30 minutes left against tired legs. He's still quick at
But
legs.
that's moving away from Vardy. I feel like their whole problem is they're like forcing Vardy, and it's people have got that a bit figured out, and then they bring on Daka
You
or
play Daka and Vardy at the same time because I think they're both pretty similar. Really tasty, love to counterattack. Yeah, I mean that's what they should be doing. And then
I think you're underplaying Bournemouth defending. Since the 9-0, they've battened down the hatches a bit.
Yeah, that's very true. But
I think he'll be 1-0 to Leicester.
1-0?
Yeah, next game they lost 8-0, and then 7-0, and then
They're going down. They're going down. All right, Chelsea Wolves, everybody. Mark?
Will. I wish I could tell you that the Wolves were going to win and they were going to go in and beat Chelsea at their game. I really wish I could. But no, I don't even fucking know what Wolves are doing anymore. They have yet to hire. They haven't hired anybody yet. Maybe they'll make Moutinho the player caretaker for the day or something. I have no idea.
Probably not a bad move.
But you know what? Chelsea is not playing that well. I mean, they haven't shown us much of anything this season, have they?
They were quite good in midweek.
No, but they weren't.
I can't speak for that. So I don't know. This is kind of a
but then
this has been an unlucky team. I read this morning that Pedro Neto broke his ankle against West Ham and has to have surgery, and he's out till next year. So I just don't know anymore. No, Chelsea out there. If you got anything, show me, whoop their asses. They got their hind leg in a steel trap, and just finish them off, man. I don't know what to say anymore about Wolves.
I mean, the one thing is, without a new manager in place, I'm assuming they're going to have some caretaker that's going to have them park the bus and maybe just try to counter with Geddes or something.
I mean, they don't have Nathan Collins for 2 more games, including this one.
I'd just call Cody back.
They can't. They're trying, but you know what I can't believe?
That sucked.
Is that Everton is going to be able to buy Cody for less than $5 million, and that really pisses me off.
And
sending him on loan to Everton when they did really pissed me off. And when I found out this week that they can buy him for 4.5, I am so fucking angry.
That's when you're like,
and now we're so short on players. Everybody we've signed has injured themselves in a horrific way, and we just lost Pedro Neto for the season. I don't know what to fucking say anymore. I don't. I got nothing. Chelsea, Wolves don't score. Chelsea 3-0. There.
Damn.
Fuck.
You could say 3 words. Leeds.
I don't even know what to...
I thought the 3 words were Marcus Aguna. That's
football is life. It's going to be a rough season for the Wolves.
No, look, listen.
There's also when Cody left. I feel like that was the very end of the window.
You nailed your colours to the master, Wolves, right? Listen, they will be the main attraction in the Championship next season, so you will see a lot of them in America still.
They're not
Don't
going.
worry about that.
I have plenty of options to. I was actually, you know what? We talked earlier on. I'll be very, very brief here. We talked earlier on about things that we found surprising in England, in London, in York, and it was the fact that over here in the States, I can watch more football than you guys.
Yeah,
that I found just astonishing, and the fact that football can't get a foothold in this country, and we can watch more than you. That blew me away.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
of the fucking money.
We were at the Emirates,
money.
and they were popping up the scores, and I was like, why can't we see
5
replays?
billion for 5 years or something? It was the last contract that BT and Sky had to conjure up. It's even more this time around.
No, it was the same, and they considered it a win. They considered it a win purely because every other European league's TV deals fell off a cliff. They all went down. The French one, the TV company were like, we just can't afford to pay it. Which fucks every team in France apart from one, obviously.
Right. Yeah, Devin, we're about the same here. Like, if you can pay like $20 a month, you can get everything you need. It's usually... but even like we get the Europa League, the Europa Conference League, the Champions League.
That's right. I have. It's obviously streaming, but I have
the Mexican League. Yeah, Liga MX.
I pay a guy for an app, £30 a year, and I can watch every Leeds game or any game I want.
A month.
Yeah, legally. Jeez. But then you get to watch. Then you get to watch the games that they select. You don't get to watch your own club every week. You know, it's yeah. They should just hand it to the clubs, and the clubs should sell like season tickets through their own. That's what I believe, anyway.
So, fellas, as we're talking about Wolves being possibly relegated, who do you guys have right now in the relegation battle? Because I thought Nottingham Forest would be absolutely clear of relegation. They're just not figuring it out.
I think it's going to be at least 14th place for a while, you know, until that last few games when them teams separate themselves. So you're going to be pretty much most of the bottom half of the table are going to be looking over the shoulder for a long time.
The scary thing about Forest going down is it could be like the amount of money they've spent, and then they're gonna have to loan all those players out if they go to the champion. Like they could go down twice in a row based on financial difficulty. I think.
I think they signed certain players though that will just that will stay there. You know, I think they'll have half of that in mind. But I think a few of the lesser-known players will stay there because they didn't have a squad before.
To be fair, Ben, they're well placed for the championship because they've got O'Brien and one of the other lads from Huddersfield.
Yeah.
So their spine of their team, like in terms of going into a 46-game season in that level, will be all right.
I still think Bournemouth will go down, even though they're a little bit high.
I think Bournemouth will go down. I think.
Yeah, they started off with some decent wins and points, but
yeah, since
I had Bournemouth, Southampton, and I'm not sure who the third team was. It may have been Palace. I had know.
Fulham, Everton, I don't think that's going to happen.
Everton. It was
Fulham
Everton, and I'll still stand by it. Although I think Everton is the one of my three that I think will escape things. I think they're getting a little bit better.
Okay,
Fat Frank won't have any hair by the end of the season.
I think unless you're Man City, 3 points ain't going to be all that easy to come by every game.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys this:
you're playing Tim Ream still, which is a sign of you're going to get relegated.
Yeah. We all basically had Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, I believe, in our top 4 at the beginning of the season, and then it varied from there with United, Arsenal, Tottenham. Where are we at right now? Top 4. What do you guys?
I still think Liverpool are good enough. Top 4, I do. Look, their experience, they'll pick up plenty of points. They're a good enough team to destroy anybody. As we're looking now, I think I did put Arsenal in the top 4. So as I say, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool.
I think I had Arsenal 6th, and I still don't think that's dead in the water because it only takes a bad month.
Yeah.
Honestly, it does. It's still so fucking tight. It's so fucking tight.
I want to say we asked this question last year at about this time, but you know we have Brighton in the top 4. It's like, how far do they fall this year compared to last year? Or are they for real?
Well, they've had a management change, so there's a lot of factors in that.
Mr.
management change and then drew against Liverpool when they probably should have won against Liverpool.
I think Brighton.
Yeah, but that was some fucked up officiating.
Sorry,
I think Graham Potter wins that.
Mr. Tom had Firpo in first place.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
If Brighton can finish top 7 and go to Europe, that would be huge.
All Mr. Tom's dreams were answered. I thought Firpo came on. He got to see him live.
I thought Firpo played really well.
There was a tear in your eye at one point.
There was. I was emotional. I see him with my own eyes, not through a lens. It was great. I only felt that way when I saw Bielsa.
But honestly, guys, so we have Man City is clearly going to be in the top 4. Besides
Man
that,
City going to be in the top 1.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Here's a question.
Hey, let's go back to the week ahead. What's that?
Without strip your Leeds United bias, like truthfully, where do you think Manchester United finishes?
6.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
I would say watch out for them. They've won 4
I'll say they'll pick up some good results, but I don't think I think they're quite a few decent players off being a good side. The system might work, but you need players to fit the system, as Leeds found out.
I will say
I think he'll pick up a lot of surprising points and he'll lose a lot of surprising points.
I like the guy from Ajax they picked up.
Ten Hag. I think his system will come good, but I think he's another 2 transfer windows away from that.
They're hoping you'd like him for the 100 million they paid or whatever it was.
That goal, I mean, I know they got their ass kicked by City, but that goal he scored was incredible.
I stopped watching at that point.
Look,
Yeah,
I hope they fail miserably.
I was cutting my meat pie open at Elland Road at the time.
Some good points made here. Debbie Lewis saying Wolves only 1 win away from halfway. Way too early to shoot relegation odds. I don't think it's done and dusted for Wolves either, because it is early days. 1 win changes things. 1 win and then a draw.
Sure. Absolutely. I mean, we definitely know, that it is early and that there
You're
are
not
points
easy
out
to
there.
beat.
But
You're not.
Currently, all I was getting at was, as far as my little diatribe with about Wolves was just like, how much more bad luck can one team get, or have. I mean, this is like this season is becoming entering into that Leeds zone from last year. But the difference between what is happening to Wolves this year and what happened to Leeds last year is that, except for your late season injuries, a lot of those guys came back. Now, granted, they weren't in the best of form. On the Wolves side, that's it. They're done. They don't come back. It's not like
last year, you could have guessed week 1 that Norwich and Watford are going to go down because those rosters were just not strong enough.
Watford was absolutely awful last season. They were so painful.
Watford won on week 1 last year.
I know.
I feel the same for Bournemouth.
Before week 1.
No. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying the same thing this year. Aston Villa lost to both Watford last season opening day and Bournemouth this season opening day.
Is Gerrard under pressure for the sack?
I think if anybody right now, it's got to be Rodgers.
If they lose to Bournemouth, I mean,
I think they would have sacked him by now if they actually had the intention of sacking him. I don't think
intention
they
or the cash.
Him.
The cash.
Yeah, no, that's
they don't
what
have
I mean.
The cash.
Yeah.
But if they had lost to Forest, I think Rodgers would have been just nope, bye.
Maybe. Last comment here that I want to address. Scooby D2 says heavy pitches may well undo pretty Arsenal. Fresh on perfect pitch, they can play. Tired on muddy pitch with sleet in your face. We'll see. Here's something. I do not 100% disagree or hate that comment because it is true. Something about Arsenal. Everybody's saying, oh, look at this October. This October is so rough. We've got so many matches. To me, Arsenal proved their season in December and January. That's always when we may have a great start and then we just collapse in December or January. And so if we can get through that, I mean, if we get through that, that means we got through October as well. But I'm right there with you. When it's cold, when it's muddy, when it's not a perfect pitch, when you're having to play in Brighton, when you're having to play at Leeds, when you're having to play all these matches on not this perfect carpet, yeah, it's gonna be a lot to see.
One thing that's different about Arsenal this year, and I know it's only 7 games in, is you are, I think, convincingly beating the teams you're supposed to beat, which is something that even Man City occasionally struggles with. That's why, I mean, I think you're definitely going to get top 4. But last year, when you didn't finish top 4, I wasn't that disappointed because I thought that team still overperformed.
It was overachieving last season. Absolutely right.
This year, not achieving top 4.
Like what?
Not achieving top 3, I think I would be disappointed.
Yeah. Absolutely. Fuck, what was I was right there about to say something. And then Ben mentioned pizza.
It
is delicious. And you know what? It's cold and it's
I don't care. That looks delicious. Pepperoni in it. I can see it. Oh, it's massive as well. It's proper pizza.
There's more upstairs too.
Oh, send me one. I don't care how long it takes to get it.
It'll probably still be delicious. Anyway.
What's going to be the first thing you do, Ben, when you come to New York?
Yeah, man.
We'll take you for a slice.
Yeah, man.
And we'll eat it on the stoop. All right, guys, that's it for happy hour tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you guys for dealing with for just enjoying us reminiscing about our trip for a lot of the time. But we did get to some deep football dive, and Chris even got to speak some football, which he likes. This Najee would have appreciated this. If you guys do want to join us for a little while backstage, we will be backstage talking talking more football and other stuff. Director John just put the link out there. But Chris, thank you for joining us. Ben, Tom, once again, thank you so much for your hospitality and treating us like fucking superstars. We felt very, we've got this ego now. We walk down the street here in Brooklyn and nobody recognizes us and we're all pissed off.
The UK legends.
But please join us backstage. Bandy, join us backstage.
Love you more
my
than
man.
the Queen.
Yeah, man.
Ooh, you can't
Definitely.
say that.
Oh, definitely. Oh, no, we do. We love you more than the Queen. The Queen fucking interrupted 2 weeks of fixtures for Leeds United. No.
Too soon. It's too soon.
No,
I will always associate the Queen with no Liverpool for 3
God
weeks.
save the King.
On a quick side note, Ben's dad gave me a program for Leeds United Arsenal from like it was a 1972 Cup final, and the Queen was there. She presented the trophy. And he gave me the program. It's fucking amazing. I'm gonna frame it and put it up back here. So thank you guys very much. We will see you throughout the week. Mark and I got lots of stuff planned. Stoop sessions planned. So we'll be bringing you guys lots more content as well as happy hour next Friday. So Mark, thank you as well. Director John, love y'all. Peace from Brooklyn, everybody.
Good night.